Welcome back inside the Palace here in Greensboro, North Carolina, where the GAA Classic Cars auction continues here on Racer. And as the bidding continues on these dream rides, we're welcoming a very special guest all the way from California. He is a six-time IndyCar race winner, son of an Indy 500 winner, third-generation car guy, and quite the entrepreneur in the car business. He is Graham Rahal. Graham, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me, Bob. I appreciate it.
Now, I did some research into you, and I saw a video of you walking your phone camera around the dealership area at Graham Rahal Performance in Zionsville, Indiana. You have some really sweet rides there, my man.
Yeah, we do. I've always, you said, and you know my dad well, but you know, we are gearheads through and through, whether it's cars, motorcycles. It's a sickness that we can't seem to shake. So, you know, I started about 10 years ago. I started my company while I was, and I still obviously am racing, but I felt like, you know, my long-term plan and my love was in automobiles, even, you know, past racing and when all of that would be done. And so it's been amazing to see it grow. Obviously, I pay a lot of attention to the auctions, see what's going on, what's selling well, what's of interest. You know, but it's a big time business. The collector car market is huge. Great investments. I mean, particularly over the last handful of years, you know, clients and people have done really well with them. So it's been a lot of fun to be involved in.
Right on the block now is a 56 Lincoln Premier in a color I would never expect to see on a luxury car like the Lincoln. Graham, let me ask you a question. If there is one car that you would scour the auctions to try to find, can you tell me what it is?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm more of a, you know, I've been kind of stuck on the German car stuff for quite a while, like particularly Porsches is what we do the most. But I'll say this, Bob, like I'm pretty attached to some vintage cars that connect home. I have a 66 K-Code 289 that my wife, Courtney, of course, Courtney Forrest is my wife. So John Forrest, you know, when she was kind of growing up, you know, her dream was to have a Mustang because they were always a Ford family, obviously now Chevy, but, you know, I still think of John at least as a Ford guy. And so, you know, when you look at like GAA here, you look at those sort of things, like a 66 K-Code, the old Mustangs, 350 Hertz is something that I find extremely cool. But as you know, and as the buyers know, and those watching this right now, you know, it's a very particular buying pool, particularly on classic American cars. And I've learned how little I know about those cars over the last few years. But it's amazing the detail that a lot of these collectors go into on some of these.
Okay, I got some inside information. What car do you have that you would never sell? You got it locked away.
Oh, I've got a 64 Mini is probably what you were told. So I've got a 64 Mini Cooper F that I restored myself. It was originally a South African car. I bought it in Bowling Green, Ohio, of all places, and totally restored it in high school. Literally, the only thing I didn't do was paint the car. The rest I did. I reupholstered the interior, rebuilt the engine, did the wiring loom, did all that stuff. So I told my wife, you know, when she needs to buy me a coffin, it'll be cheap because the Mini and I can go down together.
Wow, that's really cool. Now, what else do you do? I know Graham Rahal Performance is about all sorts of, you know, fairly mundane car servicing and maintenance and parts replacement, all that sort of thing. What do you do in the Go Fast department?
Well, we do a lot of upgrades and stuff like that. You know, particularly, like when we started the business, it was purely performance parts and products. It actually wasn't even selling cars. The selling cars part kind of came along later. But really what we do well is we help curate a lot of collections. So we have a lot of collectors that, you know, are all in on American muscle, and maybe want to swap, or we have collectors that have a lot of foreign things, but hey, you know, I'm kind of, I'm nostalgic. I want to go get, you know, my Z28. I want to go get my GT350 or GT500s or whatever it may be, my CUDA, you know, all of those sorts of things. So we cultivate and curate a lot of collections now. I would say that's probably, you know, what we do best. But obviously, we do offer, full servicing, paint protection film, ceramic coatings. We have a Ducati dealership. We have Piaggio dealership. So in our campus, if you're a gearhead, we have, I think, the coolest campus in the United States. Got everything from, selling cars to we got a steakhouse, we got a coffee shop, we've got a social club, car storage, everything in one spot. So, Bob, I'd love for you to come up some point if you're in Indy and come see us for sure.
I definitely will do that. Matt Yoakum?
Hey, Graham, it's Matt Yoakum. Looking at all of the history that your family has, that Courtney has, it's hard to find, I think, the perfect cars for the couple, but we believe that we've got a couple of them here. There's a Briggs & Stratton IndyCar go-kart, and also the same in a funny car. So his and her go-karts.
That is honestly awesome right there. If we could get that funny car in particular and get a force scheme on there, get his old Jolly Rancher, maybe we could turn it into the Wendy's funny car, something like that. It'd be pretty sweet.
That would be fantastic. We've got some people that can try to take that project on.
I have no doubt. I'll have to pay attention to that. I didn't even know you had those.
Looking ahead to the NTT IndyCar Series weekend at one of my favorite tracks in the world, WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. What are you expecting? I've heard you've had rain.
Yeah, it's not been pretty today. I wouldn't say rain, but certainly, you know how it gets, Bob. It's like got this haze out here that feels kind of misty, like a very heavy mist. And we've been fighting that so far. It's really chilly out here for this time of year. I mean, I don't even know it's going to get to the 70s, to be honest, which is a little bit strange. But I'm expecting a fast weekend. I mean, our team, we've got WEX as our sponsor. First race that WEX has been with us as far as the primary. Obviously, a massive shipping agent, massive shipping company. So we're excited to have them. We've been very strong on the road and street courses this year, and we've got 2 opportunities left. I started on the front row in Mid-Ohio at Indy, the Grand Prix. We've been in the top 6 4 or 5 times this year on the road and street courses. So I expect that we have a really strong weekend this weekend for all 3 of our cars.
Well, that's great. I didn't think it was in the 60s anywhere in the United States this summer. But anyway, I know you got to go. We really appreciate you coming on board, and I will definitely put Zionsville on my coming travel list.
Come see us anytime, Bob. It's good to chat with you.
Same here. That's Graham Rahal.